Welcome to another Turtle Side Chat. Nice to be with you. Coming to you Friday before Shabbat. We're getting ready for Shabbat. Just came back from a beautiful walk in the park. Feeling a little bit better. Thank you for caring. I want to talk about a few things in Turtle Chat. Number 13. I want to finish the two olive trees in the Convergence in Syria first, and then if we have a little time left over, if I can speak really fast, then we'll have a little time left over, and I want to give you my thoughts on the current events that are happening even while we speak, and the fallout from the San Bernardino attacks, terrorist attacks. Whatever Yahweh puts in my heart and mind, I'm willing to share with you if we have some time remaining. So let's get right into the word of Yahweh today in another Turtle Side Chat School video for our students to learn, to grow, and to become Bereans, strong in the word of Yahweh, with the understanding the word of Yahweh fits perfectly into the current events. In Isaiah chapter Yeshayahu chapter 17, the prophet speaks of the vision and the burden of Damascus. We covered a lot of things, so I want to pick it up in verse 10 as a reminder. Yahweh allows the end-time destruction of Damascus as we know it, because in verse 10 of Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 17, he says, because at one time Ishmael and Edom were all part of the house of faith, having come from the loins of Abraham and Yitzchak, and yet those who settled in Damascus forgot Elohim, the Elohim of your Yeshua, your salvation. You have not been mindful of the rock. In Hebrew, the word is tsur. You forgot Yeshua, who is the tsur, the surety of your strength. Therefore, you shall plant pleasant plants, but they will be turned out into foreign branches, or a different faith, or a foreign faith, meaning you've left the commonwealth of Israel. The invitation stands open because Yeshua said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Ani haderech haemet v'hachaim. And he said, whosoever will, even the sons of Edom, even those who are currently practicing Islam, he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And he says, whoever wills, let him drink of the living water freely. So anyone that wants to drink of life and is sick of the taste and stench and of death can come to Yeshua HaMashiach, the door. He's my door, he's his doors, he's their doors, he's her doors, he's your door. There's only one door, one way. And that is the way of salvation, forgiveness, pardon, justification, and eventually glorification and resurrection. Because whom he predestined, he ordained, and he ordained to suffer, but then after the suffering, to be esteemed and glorified with him. So we're ordained to be heirs with Yeshua, heirs of salvation, and then heirs of his own glory, partakers of his glory. We're not immortal, we are mortal beings, but by receiving salvation, we receive the gift of immortality, because Yeshua has brought the gift of immortality and light to us through the Besorah. That's another one of those satanic lies, that we are immortal. Ezekiel 18:4 through 20 tell us over and over, in Revelation chapter 20 tells us over and over, but we just hear what we want to hear. The soul that sins, or the being, in our case, human being that sins, shall die. It doesn't say you're going to burn forever and burn forever and burn forever. Sodom and Gomorrah is not burning forever, but their penalty is forever. See, the penalty of their iniquity is forever. Those flames burn forever symbolically, because Sodom and Gomorrah cannot be restored and rebuilt. They died. The soul that sins shall die. So instead of planting Israelite branches, whatever Islam does is serving a foreign deity and is going to turn out into a foreign branch, foreign from goodness, righteousness, peace, For the kingdom of Yahuwah is not meat and drink. No, 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 no. That's how to get through life. That's a little bit of Torah. The kingdom of Yahuwah is not meat and drink. What to eat, what to drink. That's a little bit of Torah to get you through this life so you don't get sick and stay sick, and that you don't act and put things into your body that are contain a demonic power that is unclean before Yahweh. The kingdom of Yahweh is not meat and drink, but peace, righteousness, and joy, shalom, tzedakah, and simcha, by and empowered by the set-apart spirit, the Ruach HaKadosh. So the kingdom of Edom in Damascus, Hafas el-Assad, and all those who want to make Syria part of the caliphate, this new Islamic state, okay? Anything they do, anything they produce, anything they try to produce will be foreign. It's going to be a foreign plant. It's not going to have anything to do with the olive tree of Israel. It's not going to resemble anything the Elohim of Israel desires, which is the fruit of the Ruach is. Galatians 5, the fruit of the Ruach is. And then it lists all the characteristics. But there's one fruit of the Ruach. People think, well, I have the fruits of the Ruach and he doesn't. Well, the fruit of the Ruach is one. Love. Ahava. Look at your Bibles. The works of the flesh are manifest, which are these, multiple. But the work of the Ruach is echad, love. From love comes patience, long-suffering, joy. Oh, I hope that's not Yeshua calling me. I hope he's not mad with my teaching. I hope he doesn't dislike my teaching. Can somebody put Yeshua on hold? No, just kidding. Somebody got the phone. Anyway, you can see I'm feeling better. I'm back to my silly self. Okay, so look at verse 11. In the yom that you tried to make your plant grow, what is the plant in Damascus today? It's ISIL. It's the so-called vision of a caliphate. In the day that you tried to make your caliphate grow to rule the world so that every nation, every man, every woman, every boy, every girl is ruled by Sharia law. He says, in the morning you will make your zerah, your seed, flourish, but the harvest will be as a heap, garbage, in the yom of grief and in the yom of desperate pain. So whatever you try to do is foreign to the Elohim of Israel. He does not approve. He's not with your plans. He will not bless your plans. He will come and destroy your plans. O Damascus, ISIL, Raqqa, northern Syria, Turkey, on the border of Turkey. You'll plant it in the morning and you'll expect it to grow, but Yahuwah Tzvaot will come down and destroy ISIL. It won't be Obama. It won't be the Republicans. It won't even be Donald Trump. He's going to be better if he's elected. He's going to be better than Hussein Obama. But no one is it knows how and has the authority and the power to destroy the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. The Levant is a code word for Israel and Jordan. Okay? That's their code word that they're coming for the Jewish state. That's why ISIL is the correct term, not ISIS. Anyway, let's continue. Woe to the army of many nations, verse 12. We're in Yeshayahu 17:12. Woe to the armies of many nations who are making noise, like the noise of the sea, meaning they're coming from overseas, from all the seas of the world. They're coming from all the seas. They're making noise like the seas. They're rushing overseas, from overseas. It's called the rushing of the nations to Damascus, to ISIL, to take on this new scourge in the latter days, that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty Mayim. So here the prophet, Yeshayahu, sees that the end-time burden of Damascus is going to include ISIL trying to establish its roots, to establish a global caliphate with the geographical territory in Syria and Iraq, of course. And the nations will come overseas, rushing to that situation to engage them, as rushing I am coming over and through the seas. Now, verse 13. The nation shall roar like the rushing of many Maim. He's repeating. But Elohim will rebuke the nations as they come, and they shall flee far away, and shall be chased as a chaff of the mountains before the wind, and the whirling objects in the wind. So even the allies, or the coalition that will assemble to try in their human power to stop ISIS, Yahweh says, you're going to be like objects thrown out in the wind. I'm going to take care of Damascus. I'm going to take care of Bashir Assad. I'm going to take care of the civil war between Sunni and between Shiite. And all the nations who are coming like mighty waters to come and try to form a coalition to stop this scourge of pointless murder and bloodletting, having no mercy, not sparing anyone. He says, if you mess with it, you're going to be tossed like objects, like projectiles in the wind. Verse 14, last verse of Yeshayahu 17. And see, at sundown, you're going to have fear. And before the morning, it is gone. Everything you're doing is gone before the morning. In the evening, you're going to be fearful. So neither ISIL will prosper nor the invading coalition. Now, see that? Russia and all those who are coming, France, Turkey, supposedly, none of them are going to fail. Not ISIL are going to succeed. ISIL will not succeed in deterring Yeshua's kingdom and his purposes, and neither will the coalition. It says, this is the portion of them that plunder us, and the lot of them that rob us. Now, the end of verse 14 is a very interesting declaration. It means whatever is going on in Damascus and Syria right now will not prosper. It'll make news, but it won't prosper. Because in the end, Yahuwah will bring judgment upon Syria, Damascus, all of Islam, and all the nations who are trying in their own strength to find a political solution, forgetting the King of Kings and the Master of Masters, and keeping him out of their solutions when his government, his power is the only power that can cleanse all the forces there and all the civil sectarian violence and conflict. Okay, so look at the end of verse 14. The reason neither Damascus and ISIL nor the coalition that is going to try in their own human strength to stop ISIL will succeed is because Yahweh says, this is going to happen, or in other words, this is the portion I have chosen for those who have plundered us, meaning my people Israel, because Yahweh identifies as the head, the king of Israel, who have plundered us, and the end, or the lot of those who have robbed from us. So, both Syria and the Islamic nations have robbed from Israel. Land, peace, shalom, secure borders. They have robbed from our people. And many of the invading nations who are coming to try to stop the caliphate, the so-called Islamic caliphate that is being pushed on the world by force and brutality in these last days, they're not going to prosper either, because they also have committed crimes against Yahuwah. Because Yahuwah says, he that touches you, Israel, Jewish and non-Jewish Israel, all believers in Yeshua, Judeo-Christians, however you want to call the righteous seed, whoever touches you touches the apple of my eye, or in other words, puts a finger in my eye, because I am Rosh HaMemshalah. See, in Hebrew, Benjamin Netanyahu's title is Prime Minister, or Rosh HaMemshalah. So the true Rosh HaMemshalah, or the head of the coming government of Yahuwah, where he will smash every sectarian rebellion within and without with a rod of iron. He will come to rule with a rod of iron, but unlike Hitler and Mussolini and Assad and all these barbarians, he will do so to establish Torah. And the word of Yahuwah will go forth from Yerushalayim. So we see the beginning of the burden of Damascus, Isaiah 17:1, and we see the end. And you know how the burden of Damascus ends? Exactly the way Yahuwah says it's going to end, with me in control. Not the coalition, not Bashir al-Assad, not the United Nations, not any attempt at 666 man's ultimate power play and wisdom to try to leave me out. If you ever notice, all these political solutions that are offered by Republicans, Democrats, the United Nations, always leave out Yahweh as if he doesn't exist, and even if he does exist, he's impotent and shouldn't leave church on Sunday. In other words, he has no authority in the affairs of man. He doesn't get to make the final decision. We do. So Yahweh says, a pox, Gegesundheit on all your houses. Because in the end, I will establish my house. Now, before we sign off, so we're done with this teaching. We're done with Yeshayahu chapter 17. Let me give you a couple of my thoughts on the last few days. I do watch a lot of news. I don't watch a lot of programs, sitcoms, other nonsense. I do watch a lot of news because I'm hesitant to say the P word, but I'll say it anyway, a prophet in the last days. I have prophetic antennas. I can see into your life. I can understand things that are happening in your life. I can discern things about you without even meeting you or knowing you. If you just give me a little information that you exist. I have that gift, okay? Some people get all tense when they hear the P word, okay? That doesn't mean I'm not a human being like you, and doesn't mean I don't like a good hamburger like you. It just means I have a special gift to see right through things, okay? It's kind of like seeing through walls, but in the Ruach, okay? That's one of the reasons people love me so much, because I can see right through them. And they can't manipulate me. If they could manipulate me, they'd like me a lot better. But anyway, enough of me. So I do watch news to try to get an idea of what's happening and line it up with prophecy. See if it is prophecy or if it's just chatter by a bunch of talking heads. Now the events in San Bernardino are definitely ISIL, they're definitely terrorism, and like many of our politicians have pointed out, why doesn't Barack Hussein Obama say that it's, what is he hiding? What is wrong with this man? Something happened to this man. Either he was a good cover in the first term and he's a bad cover, he's not doing good at covering himself in the second term, or he decided he doesn't want to cover himself anymore because he only has a few months left in office, and now we see the real guy. What to tell this country that we're not under a threat from Islam, that these people in San Bernardino, this couple, are not terrorists and they have no connection to ISIL, is a blatant lie. It denies the facts. The facts are coming out that the wife was trained by ISIL. I don't care if it's by YouTube. I don't care if it's through ideology or a website. That she received training and then she in turn radicalized her husband. I just love that term, radicalized. If you're full of the Ruach, nobody can radicalize. If you're full of love, if you're full of mercy, if you want to see your children and your grandchildren and you want to see men, you have a good heart. There's no amount of propaganda or doctrine or websites that can radicalize you. That term is a very interesting term that's just thrown around today, like they used to throw around that term. Well, today in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. And if you repeat it enough, you start believing. Hitler said, the longer you repeat a lie, the easier it is to receive. Today in the Israeli-occupied, no, it's a Palestinian-occupied West Bank. Everybody knows that. Same with this. So what does it mean to be radicalized? It just means to turn from a reader of the Quran into a killer for the Quran. That's all it means. So she radicalized. She was radicalized. Then she radicalized the husband. They go around shooting at police. They go around shooting at Americans. They go around shooting at the disabled. But it's a workplace incident. Was it a workplace incident when they were shooting police officers? So we have a president and we have certain leaders in this country that are so demented. They are blatant liars because they don't want to scare the public. Well, the public they already know what's happening. They're laughing at our leaders who are in denial. They're shocked and upset, but at the same time, they're laughing at them because they're doing the political double speak or triple speak. So we have a major issue. And now ISIL is here. Now, whoever thought they would come in the person of a mother, maybe this is the first of many more ISIL attacks to come. Whoever thought, what? And what a lovely couple. They took their child, their 6-month-old baby, and dropped her off at the grandmother's house so they can go have lunch. And what were they going to do for lunch? They were going to go kill and shoot as many people as they can in cold blood and then come back to their apartment as if nothing happened. But they were so sweet because they dropped off the grandchild with the grandmother and say, hey, we're going to go be with Allah, have a baby. We're going to go home. Then we're going to regroup, get some lunch. We're going to go kill some more people. And probably by evening we'll be with Allah. So here, have a baby. Because by nightfall, we're going to be with Allah. So this is the times we live in. And we've seen the first of many such incidents to come. So where does gun safety come? You ever notice? In the old days, when the homosexual perverts wanted their rights, they said gay marriage, but then they realized gay marriage wouldn't work. So they started using the term marriage equality. Well, pardon me, where's the marriage equality for Bible believers who have more than one wife? They don't give a hoot about those people. No one stands up for their rights because most of the people who wrote the Bible and most of the people who are our forefathers in the faith had more than one wife. So if the world was really interested in marriage equality, then that would include a man with one wife or a man with several wives, both blessed by Yahweh. But it doesn't. The marriage equality is specifically a code word for perverts. Okay, and same with radicalized. Okay, so I don't know how I got caught into that. And I probably lost my trend of thought, but trying to recover my trend of thought. Oh yeah, there it is. Thank you. There it is. So in the old days, they knew that those who were propagating gun control, it wasn't working too well. See? Because nobody likes to be controlled. Nobody likes for their car to be controlled, their garage door opener, their dinner. They want anybody else controlling their food. They like to do their own shopping and cook their own food, just like you. So nobody liked the term gun control, like gay marriage wasn't getting anybody anywhere. So now it's gun safety. Well, pardon me. I thought gun safety was for people who already own guns. The people who already own guns need courses and training in gun safety. That's true. But now these politically correct people, they no longer say gun control because they know that everybody would say, no. With all these ISIL people coming to the United States, and probably here over 1,000 are here in sleeper cells, we can't say gun control. So we're not advocating. This is what the politicians are saying now. We're not advocating gun control. We're advocating gun safety. Well, guess what, Mr. Politician? And guess what, Mr. and Mrs. Talking Head? You're not fooling me. You may be fooling some of the people listening to me. But you're not fooling me. Not for one moment. Now, when I started warning you, some of you didn't know me back then, you probably were better off. But 9 years ago, Islam is the end-time beast. He's crazy. Everybody knows it's the Pope of Rome. The Pope of Rome doesn't go around shooting people in the nursery and calling it jihad. Okay? Maybe the Pope, maybe the Catholic Church has some demonic doctrines and have a lot to repent of in terms of their worship practices. But that's a far cry from the bloodletting marauders that are sweeping the globe. Please don't bring any moral equivalency. Don't you dare bring any moral equivalency between false doctrine and open killing fields in any nursery school, daycare center, or movie theater. Don't you dare bring that kind of moral equivalency between Roman Catholicism and what we're seeing today. You have the Ruach and you have an obligation, because you have the Ruach, to be honest and sincere before Yahweh and not compare those and give it moral equivalency. So this is where we are. 9 years ago, I warned you. I warned all the people teaching that the Antichrist is going to come out of Rome, okay? And now people believe. Now they're starting to see. So where are we? I hate death because I love life. I'm a follower of Yahweh. The Proverbs chapter 8 says, all those who hate death hate Yeshua. All those who love life love the author of life. So guns are an evil necessity. I hate guns. I hate killing. I hate bullets. I hate shell casing. I hate magazines. I hate it. I hate any culture that can kill another human being, the highest form of creation, made in the image and likeness of Yah. I hate it. But now we have the truth. You may not get the truth from the politicians, but you're getting it from the police in light of the San Bernardino killings or terrorist attack. It says they're telling the American people, Democrats, Republicans, non-affiliated, people that are in law enforcement, are telling the American people, if you have a permit, carry your weapon, conceal it and carry it. You may save a life. You may save a child's life. You may save a school teacher's life. These are the days of Noah. Yeshua didn't say in the days of Noah the earth had a problem with violence and terrorism. He says the earth was filled with violence, so that the earth was violent. Yahweh is love. The earth is violent. Yahweh doesn't have love. He doesn't show love once in a while. He is love. Same with the earth. The earth is not battling a problem with violence. It is full of violence, meaning there's not a lot of room for any love and compassion and empathy. The days of pity on the disabled, and the weak, these days are over. Those days are over. And so our police and sheriffs are telling the American people, if you have a concealed weapon permit, carry your gun. You may need it. They're saying in these days where soft targets are terrorist targets, more women, more innocent, more disabled, those are better targets. The more vulnerable, the better the target to that deity, to that foreign plant we were reading about earlier in Isaiah chapter 17. So, and the police and our law enforcement are telling us the truth. We can't protect everybody. We can't reach every disabled person. We can't reach everybody. The everybody's in society have got to start protecting themselves. And then we have the gun safety people. It used to be gun control, now it's gun safety. And what are they telling us? Oh, we need gun safety, meaning that's what law enforcement's there for. They're there to protect you from ISIL coming to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Law enforcement will protect you. So we need to focus on gun safety. But guess what? Law enforcement is telling you exactly the opposite. The days are over where we can no longer pretend. They never could. I knew that. Some of you knew that. But the days are over where we can at least pretend that we can protect you. We can't protect you anymore. You are going to have to protect your family and your loved ones. These days are so wicked, and there's going to come such destruction in the Great Tribulation that Yeshua said, unless I come at the right time, early enough, unless I return early enough, the battle between light and darkness, the kingdom of Yahweh versus the kingdom of Islam, no flesh would survive. No flesh. Believing flesh, unbelieving flesh, Baptist, Methodist, doesn't matter. Unless he comes right on time. Because we are on the eve of destruction. And so, as much as you love Star Wars, and as much as you love that new football movie coming out about concussions, I gotta wait for those things to come out on DirecTV and on Dish or Blu-ray DVD. Did I say that right? Ooh, I'm getting technical. Oh, Blu-ray. When I was a kid, Blu-ray meant something that swam. Swam in Tampa. No, I am going to use wisdom. I'm not going to walk in fear. Yahweh hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. But we are required to defend ourselves. So whatever that means to you, you need to be about that business. And if you have a criminal past and you can't acquire a firearm, I don't know what to tell you. You're in trouble. Don't break the law. Don't break the law, but let the Ruach show you how else you can protect your family. One thing I know, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I've seen a specific dream or vision, but I have read the scriptures. I have the Ruach of prophecy, which is Yeshua. Yeshua is the Ruach of prophecy. And there's a mushroom cloud coming. And it's coming courtesy of Sharia law. I don't know exactly where, but I know it's in the southeast United States. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I do know where it is. So, one thing we can do is not frequent movies, not frequent dark theaters, anything where is a soft target. And as much as we don't want to, carry our firearm. I mean, I don't like that. I like to relax. I like to go out to dinner, have a glass of wine. I don't want to be thinking about, do I have my gun? Is it loaded? I don't like, who likes to? I hate that culture. But we live post-Cain. We don't live pre-Cain. Anyway, I've said enough. I've said too much. So, it can be depressing. You've noticed my countenance has changed just in the few minutes I've been talking to you. Watching the news, studying these things, it can get very depressing. But what's the alternative? Hiding our head in the sand? No. We have to keep our eyes on Yeshua. We have to keep 2 eyes on Yeshua and 1 ear on the news. And keep all things in balance. Not lose our joy. Not lose our freedom. I mean, we can still go out. We can still enjoy life. But you just have to think. What are the easiest places for these deranged worshipers of this strange deity, this abominable deity? Where are they most likely to strike? And the answer is where there's the most vulnerable, the least security, and the darkest building. So right number 1 on the top of your checklist is movie theaters. Right? Number 1. Maybe if they put metal detectors and security guards at every door, maybe we can revisit that. And then you have to rethink things. The NFL games, for example, to me are safe. They're extremely careful. You can't even bring a purse or a bag into a game. You surely can't carry an AR-15 or an AK-47 because it has to be a clear bag and it has to be the size of your hand. And they've been doing that for years. So people make fun of football, Baal, but the National Football League knows how to run its business. You're not going to get hurt at an NFL game. But in a dark theater or a dark restaurant, anything's possible. Anyway, try to be encouraged. Just wanted to share with you, bring you up to date, some current events. And of course, we finish our final Turtleside chat in Yeshayahu, chapter 17. We love you. Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you live over the air tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time for our Shabbat service.